Welcome everybody. This is Councilman Britt Moore. We're here at City Hall for our December 2nd meeting of the Finance Committee. With me here is Councilwoman Peters, Councilman Victor Jones, and I got a message earlier today that Councilman Michael Holmes may not be able to make it. He's going to try, but he had some work conflict. But with that being said, we will jump right into our agenda and hear about the business at hand for today. The first item on our agenda is 2021-523. It's concerning a transit bus pass donation policy, and presenting this information is Miss Angela Wines.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hello.
Each year, the transit system gets requests from different nonprofit agencies to donate bus passes. And we typically have not had a policy in place, and I've often referred the agencies to get permission from the city manager's office, then in turn would tell me yes or no, we could donate passes. We decided that the easiest way and to make this fair to all agencies was to create a policy. We did some research what other transit systems were doing across the country, and we found that one of our neighboring systems, Greensboro Transit, actually had a policy that we could model that we liked. So in this policy, we are recommending that there be no more than $1,000 worth of donations per year, and that one agency may only get up to $100 of passes in a single year. And it's first come, first serve, and basically with that budget, we could serve 10 agencies. We are very careful with this. These are funds that are not reimbursable by the Federal Transit Administration or NCDOT, so these would all be City of High Point dollars that would go toward this. Agencies would need to prove to us that they are indeed a nonprofit, and then we would process the application, which we have created, and then we would give them bus passes. But the one thing is, no agency can already owe us money, so we're trying to keep a check on it that way. But we figured this would be the easiest and the fairest way to be able to manage those requests.
Any comments or questions on this? I have one. How does administratively these applications come to you? What's the time frame look like, and how do you disperse them?
The applications actually will come to me, and then I will go through, review the paperwork, I will sign off on them, and then I will forward everything to our accountant, who will then reach out to the agency to get them. Usually, we can turn passes around in about 48 to 72 hours. Okay,
and the time frame, when can people apply for this?
That is, we didn't really discuss a start date, and we also did not budget this in this year's budget. So it's sort of at council's pleasure if we would like to start this January 1, and we only have 6 months, and we do half of it, or if we wait till July 1 and put it into next year's budget.
Well, I know we've reduced some other stuff. Where are we going to be most efficient if we accept this policy? I mean, would we be better off to usurp it and go ahead and start it now, or give people time to prepare with something new so they will know, and then give them a window with which you can receive the applications and then move forward?
We could start now. I already have several agencies that have reached out to me, and they're actually kind of waiting on this council meeting to find out what action is going to happen. Once I know that, if council should approve the policy, I will then put this information out on our website, and then I will reach out to those agencies who I've already told that for right now, I can't do anything but talk to me after the December council meeting.
Any other comments? I have just a comment or question for my fellow council members. There's something new coming into the budget. I don't have any problems with this on the face of what it is, but I'm not so sure I want it put into the consent agenda without the feelings of the other council members.
You want to make a motion to approve it and not include it on the consent agenda?
That would be my request.
So moved.
Are you okay with that?
I want it on the consent agenda. I mean, to me, it's not really that controversial or such a big issue. It's going to be so much money. I don't think it needs to.
It's not a big issue, and it's not a lot of money, but it's the principle of handling money.
No, if I'm hearing you correctly, I think is we all want this, but I think it would be, this is, I guess, cool enough that it might be nice to present to the whole council so they're aware of it. There's 9 of us that need to get this
I
information
don't
out too.
think there'd be any objection to it. I guess that they could, I mean, we put it on a consent agenda, they can
Okay.
read it and pull it, if you want to go it that way.
But we can move it forward with favorable recommendation, but not on the consent. Okay, I'm
I just
okay
think
with
it
that.
won't take
Yeah,
very often
I'm good with
consent
that.
agenda
Take
items
60
slip through.
seconds
Yeah,
to go
I'm good with
through.
that.
We skip them, we forget about them. I just like, that's a cool
Yeah.
thing that I'd like for all 9 people to make sure they're made
Yeah,
aware
yeah.
of on Monday.
Yeah, I agree. I'm okay with that.
It won't take but a minute to go through it
Sure.
on the agenda. If it's okay, then I'm going to make a motion that we approve this and it be set as a regular agenda item for December 6th.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, then I'll make the motion that item 2021-523 be approved as presented in the motion.
Yeah.
Is that a second?
Second.
All right, Councilwoman Peters, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilman Jones?
Aye.
Councilman Morrison, aye. Thank you, Angela.
Thank you.
The next item is 2021-524. This has to do with North Carolina DOT interchange improvements that are long been in the planning stages at 85 and South Main Street, and this is a utility construction agreement. That doesn't look like Terry Houck to me.
Good afternoon. I'm Alan Hicks in the Public Services Department, an engineer. The purpose of this amendment is to seek City Council approval for the utility construction cost associated with the upcoming NCDOT interchange improvement project at US 29, US 70, Business 85, and South Main Street. This project has not been included in the city's 5-year capital plan. The NCDOT has prepared construction and plans for this interchange. The project will require substantial water and sewer improvements, which will be accomplished in conjunction with the NCDOT construction. As you know, the City of High Point owns the water and sewer in that location and will be responsible for a portion of that utility construction cost. Construction cost is $2,104,067. That amount is basically an amount to put back the water and sewer. It's not a betterment cost, it's just you're moving the water and sewer to accommodate the construction. The water and sewer design was performed by Davis Martin Powell here in High Point, and that cost was $48,996. The project is scheduled for bidding in February 15th, 2022, and construction could begin as early as April of 2022. The utility construction and utility design costs total $2,153,063. The NCDOT will perform and send the city an invoice once the project is completed. And then funds will be budgeted in the capital improvement plan ahead of the estimated completion date. And this project is estimated at 2.5 years for construction. And then at the end of the 2.5 years, or when the project's complete, the NCDOT will send the City of High Point a bill to reimburse those costs. The action requested is the Public Service Department recommends approval of the utility construction agreement and that the appropriate city official be authorized to execute all necessary documents to finalize the agreement with the NCDOT for an estimated total of $2,153,063. Pending any questions?
Question? Did I hear you state that this is to move existing utilities there? It's not to replace and upgrade,
We are replacing and upgrading.
replacing and upgrade?
There's approximately 3,200 feet of water line and probably 1,800 feet of larger diameter sewer
I
line.
was thinking that's what we usually did, but I thought I heard you say move existing, and I thought that,
We're going to move the existing ones out of their new construction and zones.
right. All right. I'll make a motion that we approve item 2021-524.
Second.
There's a second by Councilman Jones. Councilwoman Peters, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilman Jones?
Aye.
Councilman Moore and I, that motion passes. Thank you. Next item, 2021-525, is a dealing with our Montlou undergrounding project and the materials needed. And Tyler Barrier,
Hey, good afternoon.
hello.
Hey, so as you're all aware, the previously approved Montlou contract that was bid out by purchasing electric self-performs its work in conjunction with that project. So we went out for bid, received bids on November 17th for some various items. I think I came last meeting with wire. This time it's for conduit, street lighting, concrete vaults, pull boxes, and transformers. So it'll be the rest of the materials that electric will use to complete the underground project.
Will this complete the materials purchasing? Does that look like about everything you need?
Yes, sir.
Any other question? I'll make a motion to approve item 2021-525.
Second.
There's a second by Councilwoman Peters. Councilwoman Peters, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilman Jones?
Aye.
Councilman Moore's an aye. That motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. I didn't recognize you either with that winter coat on. Not today. I know, not today. Next item, 2021-526, is a contract consideration for our proactive storm debris removal. And now apparently we have Terry Houcks here again. I mean, this is great.
Yes, we have two Terry Houcks here this evening. So I'm Robbie Stone, Public Services. Just wanted to bring this to you this afternoon. In 2014, we had an ice storm here in High Point that pretty impacted our services quite drastically. After that ice storm, we went out for RFP to select a contractor that could come in and help us remove storm debris. Since that time, we have continued to expand that contract for more than just storm debris, but as HHW, other C&D type materials that expands that. So if we have a catastrophic event such as hurricanes, tornadoes, or whatever, so we could have them come in and assist us with cleanup. This RFP right here actually is for folks to come out and monitor that cleanup of storm debris. And in that monitoring, there's a whole list of items that have to be kept up with so we can submit that back for FEMA reimbursement. So this firm here, with Public Services, worked with purchasing to put out on-call storm debris monitoring services. This firm here that we've selected or requesting is Tetra Tech, and they would be able to provide those services, boots on the ground in the field and at our sites, and then also in turn give us the paperwork and documentation where we can just pass it right through for FEMA reimbursement. So Public Services is asking for approval of that. There's no dollar amount associated with this time because that obviously will depend on the storm event.
Questions or comments? I'll make a motion to approve item 2021-526.
Second.
There is a second. Councilwoman Peters, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilman Jones?
Aye.
Councilman Moore is an aye. Thank you, Robbie. The next item is 2021-527. This has a license agreement, and it has to do with weather equipment and Potts Avenue Water Tower. Presenting this is Assistant Manager Eric Almedo.
Yes, sir. Climate Vision Operating LLC is requesting to be able to locate this weather radar equipment on our Potts Avenue tank. They're trying to react to a known gap in weather radar coverage between Greensboro and Charlotte. It's the existing S-band weather radar equipment doesn't work as well due to topographical and geographic challenges. This would be a 10-year agreement with an additional 10-year extension. The cost to place the equipment on top of the tank, maintain it, inspect it, remove it at the end of life, would all be the responsibility of ClimaVision. What we would get in return is a direct access to the output, the weather radar data that comes out, and that would help us. We feel that would help us when we do have severe weather events with our public safety response. So we're asking that council approve this license agreement and authorize city officials to execute the documents.
Any comments or questions?
I have a question. Where is the Potts Avenue Tower? Is that the big blue one? Where's that? Okay.
It's on Potts Avenue. I don't really know what color it is, but it's the one that replaced the one.
Oh, it's a functioning one.
Correct.
Okay,
It's
okay,
not,
all right.
it's not the
Blue,
old one.
Monica's
Yeah.
down, but.
No, I love that. No.
It is the newer tank.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Does this mean that Van Denton's forecasts are going to be more accurate?
Yes. Mr. Denton has been a advocate for getting this type of radar in this area.
Well,
So,
good.
assuming that Fox 8 pays for the information, they'll be able to give us a better forecast.
Very good. Well, Van, if you're listening, that was just a joke. I'll make a motion to approve item 2021-527.
Second.
There's a second. Councilwoman Peters, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilman Jones?
Aye.
And Councilman Moore is an aye. That motion passes. Next item, 2021-528, we're discussing a resolution for the sale of city-owned property at 1215 East Green Drive. And that's not Joanne Carlisle.
How about Kim Thor? Would that be okay?
Hey, how are you?
I'm not as good, but I'll try. Life Changing International Church has offered a bid of $7,000 for a city-owned lot at 1215 East Green Drive. The property is approximately 6,534 square feet. It was received as a foreclosure in 2021. The church is across from it, and they plan to use as supplemental property, hopefully for some parking. They're going to try to acquire a lot next to it as well. This will be done under the upset bid procedure.
Straightforward. Any comments or questions?
Motion to approve.
There's a motion to approve. I'll make the second. Councilman Jones, how do you vote?
Aye.
Councilwoman Peters?
Aye.
Councilman Moore's an aye. That motion passes. Next up is discussion of the issuance of some CES revenue refunding bonds. This is item 2021-529. Mr. Bobby Fitzjohn presenting.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, members of the Finance Committee. 529 and 530 are both linked to a council-adopted resolution from November 15th that authorized staff to move forward with refunding our 2012A and 2014 revenue bonds. These are two individual bonds that are being refunded, so each one will have its own bond order. And much like we did the initial resolution, it'll have to be actually read at the council meeting. So this is more of an informational item for today. So as a reminder, the 2021A revenue bond will be issued to Pinnacle Bank, and that will refund the 2012A. It was actually a refunding bond that it's going to be refunding. We're looking at cash flow savings of $142,000 a year for the water sewer system, approximately $1.6 million total savings there through 2032. And then the 2021B revenue bond will be issued to Truist Bank. It will refund our 2014 revenue bonds, and we're looking at about $148,000 per year in savings through 2040 for a total of $2.8 million. Any questions about either of those? But again, we'll have to vote
We
on
will
those.
take these up, and we appreciate the explanation and appreciate you always looking out for these opportunities.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next item, since we just covered 529 and 530, is going to be 2021-531, and this is our annual acknowledgement on the comprehensive financial report for 2021, and Bobby is going to explain that.
Thank you again. So this is another item that will be presented to the full council on Monday night. Our auditors, Cherry Becker, will be here to present the audit to you all. You have the opportunity to ask them any questions at that point. We had a October 31st sign-off date, submitted to the LGC on time, unmodified opinion. No surprises there, but they'll kind of go through the audit process as they typically do and describe it to you all. And then at the end, you'll acknowledge that they were here and they spoke. And they're excited to be back in person, so.
Well, we're excited to hear them in person instead of on the Zoom, or I am. I'm not
Right.
supposed to speak for y'all. So we will take this one up on Monday night as well.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Bobby.
Thank you.
Is there any other items that need to come before finance today? Well, thank you all. If that is it, then we will be adjourned.
Do you need to make a motion to adjourn? Okay.